Entitled Mother is suing me for custody of my daughter, by user BaddestBitch10102. I-22, F, cut off contact with my mother before Halloween. The reason was she is trying to force me to have my abuser in my life. Her husband molested me from the ages of 13 to 15 and raped me at 15. I cut her off after she made a fuss about him not being invited to any of my events or my home. I had enough of her disrespecting me and my boundaries. I haven't talked to her for almost 2 months. 2 months ago I went NC. I found out she was suing for sole custody. I checked my mailbox last week on Tuesday, the 14th, and I have been served with those papers. I couldn't believe what I saw. I was flabbergasted. I am freaking out. BC what to do. I brought this to my older sister's attention, my sister from my father's side of the family. She said that she would pay for my lawyer and any legal expenses. I have blocked my mother on all social media. I have had cousins screenshot her posts and send them to me. She is telling her Facebook friends that I'm trafficking drugs in my house, that I'm drunk 24/7, that I'm back on drugs, which I've been sober for 4 years, I'm clean as a whistle. She posted that I'm prostituting. She's telling all kinds of lies. She even said on her Facebook, and I quote, "It's not fair that she won't let me see my granddaughter, and it's not fair that she would let my husband see her granddaughter. I'm her mother. I should have rights to see her baby. Like the entitlement. How would you handle this?" Edit. I also told my mother about the abuse and she did fuck all. She told me I was a liar, blamed me, and defends him. Mom wants me to change my decorations for her kids, by user extreme_paranoia_43. Hi everyone, I just want to give some context. I'm a high school student who goes on the school bus every morning. Last year we had a bus driver who we all loved, but she got moved. Our new driver is something. After Halloween, I chose the Monday after Halloween, the day I would put up my Christmas inflatables. They are mine, so I'm responsible for putting them up and taking them down. No big deal. The Thursday after Halloween, my bus driver stops me asking if I can put my decorations up, and says she heard about them from another driver. My father had some yard work he still wanted to do, so I told her not yet, and that I would soon. She seemed mad, and she told her kids, the mean girl won't put up her decorations. I am a trans male, he/him, and she knows this, and then turned to me and said, "Look how sad my kids are." I ignored her. After I put them up on that Monday, I got on the bus in the morning. My driver said thank you for putting the decor up for my kids. They love it. I looked at her and told her I didn't do it for her kids. She got angry again. I had 2 more inflatables I put up last week, one I had just got recently. She told me when I got on the morning after, "Can you please take down the gnome? My kids don't like it. Maybe replace it with a penguin. They like penguins." I told her in a respectful tone I was not taking it down, and that I didn't have a penguin. She told me to buy one. I said, "Unless I'm gifted one, I'm not buying any more inflatables this year." She got so mad at me. She told me I'm so rude and that her kids didn't like my gnome, so I should accommodate them. I'm not bending over backwards for her shitty kids, who laugh at me and scream and cry all through the bus rides when they don't get what they want. Edit. This blew up. Hi everyone. Yes, I am considering investing in another gnome. Thank you for all your advice. Update. This morning is my last day of school before Thanksgiving break, because the American school system sucks, and I was going to turn my inflatables on this morning. Unfortunately it got windy, so I had to turn them off because I don't want to damage them. I have another inflatable gnome on the way, even though I wasn't supposed to buy any more this year. Smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat. It's a small gnome. I have a bigger one I want, but unfortunately they're kinda expensive. I'm seeing some people say this is fake, and I wish skull. I heard from the kids on her old route she was a real bitch to them, and one of her kids actually slapped one of the middle schoolers, and she blamed the middle schooler, who wasn't even interacting with her kids. I asked her about her old route before this incident. I genuinely wish this didn't happen, but it did. People had have problems with my decor before, but never to this level. Entitled Family Causes Scene at Graduation, by user Glitter Plant. My sil graduated medical school over the weekend. At the ceremony a family sat behind us. They had a 4-year-old girl who kept running back and forth, kicking our seats, playing with our coats and hair, whining, and coughing, etc. After about 40 minutes of this, my Phil started throwing the parents dirty looks and finally asked the girl and her mom to stop kicking his chair. That was all he asked. The woman, Karen, grabbed her child and said fine. This is my husband's graduation, but I guess I'll just have to miss it. Thanks a lot. And then she took her kid and left. The grandma, Karen Sr., stayed and was pissed. She said, "Why don't you just deal with it? She's not feeling well." Our group ignored her. After the ceremony, the graduate husband came and found Phil and expressed his dissatisfaction at him making his wife leave. When again no one asked her to leave. It ended up being a comically dramatic situation with Karen Sr. trying to shame us for not putting up with the kid. I very calmly asked these people, "Why don't you just parent your child?" They had no answer and stomped away. As a former teacher and someone who loves kids, I get that kids will be kids. But parents are responsible for teaching their kids how to act in public. It's not okay for a child to be all up in other people's personal spaces. My mom wants to check my bank account and I can't really say no, by user Haviok Dan need help. So I, 18F, opened my own bank account a few months ago under my own name. Before I got my first paycheck, my mom told me that she'd like to check my purchases and how much money I spent on the account. Another problem is that I do have to give her some money for other reasons. I bought a new phone, second-hand, and when my mom asked me how much I spent on it, I lied and said that it was €300, but it was actually €420. I earn €1,400 monthly, and yesterday she asked me how much money I have left and I said that I have like €800 left, which is true. I had to pay my mom €60 that I owed her. I also used the money to buy things that I really need. I wanted to buy the important things now. Do that, I won't have to worry about my second paycheck. The problem is that I sell old clothes online. I need as much money as possible to move out of this sickening household, but when I sent the packages to my clients I was too lazy to go to the bank and withdraw the money for the post. So I just used my card. Yesterday my mom wanted to see my bank account and asked me if I got the statement of my account. I tried to get it, but it says that I have no statement. She doesn't believe me though. I didn't want to show her my online banking account. So I blocked it. I just feel so uncomfortable showing her what I spend my money on. It's my privacy. I also don't understand why she feels so entitled to know. It's my money and I worked hard for it, but the problem is that my mom is a huge drama queen. Saying no will only give us more trouble. But I also don't want to explain myself. I don't need to. I just don't want any trouble. I'm tired. I wanted to rush to the bank and see if I can get the statement and hide them. Today is my grandma's birthday. My mom told me to gift her some money. I thought about getting another statement once I withdraw the money for my grandma. So that my mom will finally leave me alone. This situation is stressing me a lot. I woke up anxiously. I hate having to worry about things that aren't actually a problem. I don't know why my parents make me feel bad for spending my own money on things that I really need. It's too much stress for me. Thankfully they don't have my account details and don't have any access unless I let them, but I'm scared that they might force me to do so. I just want her to leave me the fuck alone. Mum complains about her father falling asleep after he takes care of her son, by user Snugoats1557. I read this in The Guardian today and couldn't quite believe the audacity of this mother. Excerpt below. Twice a week, when I'm at work, Dad watches Theo, my son, who is 11, and feeds our dog Betsy, a 12-year-old Labrador who still has a lot of energy. But Dad often falls asleep at mine. Theo says he doesn't like to wake up his grandpa, and he's pretty much old enough to look after himself, but if Dad's offered to come and cook Theo's dinner and keep him company, then falls asleep on him, what's the point in coming? When I get home, I'll ask Theo, how long has he been sleeping? Often it's after he's made their dinner and done whatever else I've asked him to help with. After the chores, he's zonked. So this woman's 76-year-old dad comes over twice a week to look after her son, cook him dinner and do chores, all for free, and she has the audacity to complain that he falls asleep. Also, it's not like the child is a toddler, he's 11. If anything happens he can wake his grandpa up or call for help. Some people